Hello, podcast world, and hello, my lovely co-host, Rachel. Are you ready for another great show today, Rachel?
I could not be more excited.
And it sounds like we're ready to rock and roll because not only do we have someone from our community, but we also have someone who's very musically talented. So today we welcome to the show John Martin, president of ProObject. Thanks for joining us, John.
Sure. Thank you all for having me. I'm really looking forward to this.
This will be great.
We are ready. And
All right.
we would love to start the conversation at the very beginning and learn just a little bit more kind of your journey from that systems engineer to now, I don't know if we salute or how that goes, but Presidente of Pro.
Yeah. Great question. I started my career. I'm a University of Maryland grad, electrical engineer. Got my degree there. So go Terps. And started my career as a government systems engineer, doing a lot of embedded systems development, some assembly language, C programming, and then moving into C++. Did that for about 12 years. Had a great career there, and then had the opportunity to join up with ProObject in 2000 and came into the senior engineering ranks there. So I've been with the company since 2000, so I think March will be 23 years now. So hard to believe. And had lots of training, both technical and leadership training over my tenure with the firm. And now I'm in the role of president at ProObject.
So tell us a little bit more about ProObject as a company and sort of your focus in the community, because I've been in the community about 20 years. I always hear the name and you've been a great customer, but I want to hear a little bit more about what you do and what you focus on.
Yeah, that's great. Well, the name ProObject is really reflective of our roots in software engineering and specifically object-oriented analysis and design.
Oh, okay.
That's where we got our start, so helping clients to adopt a brand new development paradigm, back in the late 90s. And today when we talk about ProObject, we describe our company as a technology firm that builds systems to collect, process, analyze, and report intelligence to our nation's policymakers, to the warfighter, and our allies abroad. So very, very much committed to the safety and security of the nation. We are a woman-owned small business, so we're real proud of that culture. And over the years, we've expanded our roots in software engineering into really four core offerings: cybersecurity and enterprise IT. So you hear a lot about cyber threats out there nowadays. So we work on the policy and planning side, as well as the tactical, hands-on IT administration and implementing those policies. We do a lot of capability development, so building solutions, building full systems to gather intelligence. We have an analytics and visualization capability, which encompasses a lot of cloud technologies. We're an Amazon Web Services partner. And then we work in the advanced research area as well. So we're involved in a lot of things, but when we describe the company, really that's been our focus. We've been very successful since '95, and we're proud of that, and we feel it's important to give back to the community and share some of our success. A good example there is our matching gifts program, where we help our employees. We augment their donations to charitable social service organizations that are out there helping to feed the poor, house the homeless, heal the sick, and clothe the needy. So we will match their donations to those types of organizations.
Wow. Awesome. Sounds great. Rachel?
Absolutely. So it sounds like you've got just a couple things going on. And what I heard was kind of the genesis was in the 90s. And I think anything that started in the 90s, pretty amazing. So super excited. I mean, we have some friends that might know something about the 90s, and they probably would like to know even more about the type of security cleared positions that you're hiring for right now.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, there's certainly no shortage of demand. We have, even though we are a small business, we have a mix of prime and subcontracts and well over 100 funded openings. And the breadth of openings is pretty amazing for a company our size. Systems engineering, full stack, and front end developers. We are also looking for cloud native developers, particularly with Amazon Web Services expertise. The front end developers, the UI UX, the folks that can make a user interface intuitive and effective for the analyst to work with. DevOps and IT infrastructure engineers, and then, of course, the cybersecurity policy and planning folks. And we've heard in the news about CMMC, the upcoming standard, the evolution of that standard, and the risk management framework. We have folks that are very passionate about that as well.
Love it. Something else they're probably passionate about is, where are these positions located?
Yep. We're in that Baltimore, Washington corridor, serving that market, primarily defense and intel agencies in that space. We are small, but we do have a vision to expand and grow outside this region. And we've just brought on our new recruiting manager, Mari Madrano. Mari is based out of Virginia, so we see opportunity in that space as well.
Gotta love us here in Virginia.
Yep.
But I know people don't like driving that beltway. So, as long as I've been in the D.C. area, it's like, which side of the river are you on? And do you make people cross it? So, anyway.
Right.
So, in talking about your genesis of the company and your core values, what do you sort of drill down into your greatest hiring need?
Yeah, our greatest hiring needs, I think if you look at all of our openings, better than 70% of them are those full stack software engineers, folks that typically have the computer science degree or computer engineering degree. And we're seeing a growing need for data science as well. So in those areas, if I had to put one area out there, that would be the greatest need. Yep.
So when you talk about these different contracts, I'm assuming, and you know what happens when you assume, so that's why we have the expert to clear up any assumptions that might exist. But I'm thinking that maybe some of these positions might require polygraph.
That is true. In the nature of the work, polygraphs are typically par for the course. Majority of them are full scope polygraphs. So we do have some customers and contracts do allow for the CI poly with the option to upgrade to a full scope down the road. It's really contract by contract and customer by customer dependent. And we always are looking for those opportunities. And we are also looking for commercial clients that are aligned with our core capabilities, where we can bring folks in, get them to work on a commercial opportunity, and then eventually move them into the cleared space when that becomes a possibility.
That's a really great strategy, and it's something that I've told a lot of people who are interested to get into the security cleared market to work with a company that has a commercial component and a cleared component. And I noticed that you were talking about CI and full scope poly. Do you upgrade people, or is it again based on the customer? Because I know so much is based on what the customer needs and what the customer can do.
Yeah, our corporate position is we want to get folks the highest level clearance that we can possibly get them. It maximizes their opportunity of what jobs they can move around to, and it also maximizes our ability to serve the customer and solve their problems. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Now, talking about the company, and you're talking about being women-owned, which you get thumbs up from me and Rachel on that one. Talk a little bit more about the company culture. You said the matching gifts, which is great, but what are the types of people who would really succeed at ProObject? Who would really be fitting in with that overall culture?
Yeah, that's a great question. Culture is really, really important, particularly as a small business. We're really, really proud of our small business culture. Like many companies out there, one element of the culture is the events and the opportunity to bring people together as small teams, as large groups. And we're small enough to where we can offer that flexibility. Offering events that appeal to a variety of people in the workforce. Some folks like coffee and lunch, small group settings. Some people like the happy hours. We are all in favor of that. Others want to take their family out to the Orioles and watch them hopefully win, right? And others enjoy a day at Hershey Park with their family and friends. So we mix it up in terms of finding ways to bring people together. So very much a team focus. But the big aspect of our culture really is our people, and we're looking for folks that have a passion for technology, that are really looking to develop themselves, develop their careers. We have a tagline, we say careers developed. So come develop with us, develop software with us, but develop your
that's
career
cute.
with us.
Not cute, but catchy, I should say.
Yeah, having fun with that, yeah. And we go a long way to promoting that. We're committed to career paths for our employees, providing excellent training, whether it's advanced degrees or certification programs or conferences or on-demand training. A good example would be some of our learning paths that we have in the area of building cloud technologies. As an Amazon partner, that gives us and our employees access to on-demand training, to classroom training, to allow them to really grow their cloud expertise from a foundational level all the way up to being an architect. So it's really important. Folks that want to grow their leadership skills as well, whether it's Agile certified Scrum Masters or project management professionals, we have opportunities to do that. And as a company, I feel we are 100% responsible for providing training opportunities to develop each and every one of our employees. But on the flip side, our employees are also 100% responsible for taking advantage of those opportunities and growing themselves as well.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because I can't tell you how many times I talk to people and they're like, I'm not going anywhere in my career, or I'm not doing anything. And I find that they really don't want to take the responsibility to step up and have a communication with their manager about what are the other career paths within this company? What are the other education opportunities? So I'm glad you point that out. You can offer it, but they need to research it and take you up on it.
Right, exactly.
Kind of like it takes all different kinds of instruments to make beautiful music.
There you go.
First one in. You're
well
first
done,
one
Rachel.
in.
Good job. Yeah.
Good job. Okay, listeners.
Bonus points.
Yes, bonus points. So, listeners, we're going to take a break and say, John, tell us what instruments you play.
So I play alto sax and tenor sax, a little bit of piano. Been playing that for quite a while, since fourth grade. I love music. I'm in the Columbia Concert Band. We offer free music to the community. Little plug for the Columbia Concert Band there. So if you're in the Howard County, Maryland area, look us up on Facebook, and we'd love to see you. We play at the lakefront pretty frequently throughout in the summertime. So we play community free music. It's pops type music. It's concert band music. It's a lot of fun. So,
well, that sounds great. That sounds great.
Yep.
Okay, that is a lot of fun. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
I was going to say that. You got me before that.
James,
Go ahead.
See? We
James
make a great team, great music, great team. Everything's great today, except for sometimes there's a lot of competition, especially kind of in the niche market that you're in. But, you're doing great things there at ProObject. So tell us a little bit more about how are you finding that talent? How are you attracting them besides, luring them with the Sirens music? What else are you doing to bring them into the team?
Right. Yeah. I think the key to our success is really our interview philosophy. We get thousands of resumes a year, and we talk to a small percentage of those. And the folks that we are talking with, we really want to truly get to know the candidate and set them up for success in their career. And we treat the interview more as a conversation rather than an interview. We're not quizzing them, or we're not running them through a test. We really want to find out what are their career goals, what's prompted them to start looking for a new role. Some people we find they're just stuck. A lot of companies out there don't want folks to advance in their career. They want to put them in a seat, keep them working on the same job. It's a lot easier that way. They don't want to move up or move around. So we're looking to find out, are they stuck in their current role? Are there other external factors that are outside their control? Funding ends. In the government contracting world, contracts come to an end, or funding gets cut, or a reorganization happens, and things may have happened that have upset the apple cart, and folks are now out looking for a job. We want to get to know that. We want to understand, for me personally, I want to understand what their career goals are. Do they want to develop new skills in themselves? They want to move from a technical to a leadership type role? Do they want to become a technical subject matter expert and be, perfect their skills, but not be responsible for leading or managing? Maybe they do want to move from an individual contributor into a leadership role and have a larger impact. So it's really important for me to understand kind of where they want to go. And the type of role that they are comfortable in. We do a lot of different kinds of work. Some folks in the research and development area, for example, they really love the blank slate where in it, blue sky opportunity, there is no right or wrong answer. There's lots of uncertainty, but lots of opportunity to innovate. Some people like to take a prototype that's already been built and maybe turn it into a mainstream application. Other people might be more comfortable in a sustainment role, where their job is to keep things running smoothly, fix the bugs, resolve the problems as they come up, and do an evolutionary development of an existing mission capability. Or maybe they want to help a client to adopt a brand new technology. So we really want to know, what role they are most comfortable in. We use all that information really to determine what's the right fit of all the hundreds of openings we have. It's our job to map them to the right contracts, the right role, so they can be successful when they hit the ground running. So I think that's a big differentiator for us, as we take a lot of time to learn about the candidate and make sure to set them up for success.
So it sounds like you have a lot of really good questions that you ask during the process, and it really sounds like it's an investigation into their career goals and what they really want to see them doing. So do you have any examples of successful questions that job seekers should be asking you?
That's a great question. I always encourage job seekers to do a little research on the front end. Take a look at the companies that they're interviewing. Go to their website, review any literature that's out there, any podcasts that might be out there as well, and find an area of their that they're interested in relative to the company, and use the interview process as really a way for them to learn a little bit more about an area that they're interested in. For example, I'll make something up that I see that you do technology outreach. How might I get involved in something like that at your company? Or I'd like to grow my leadership skills. What options would you offer in that area? And really make the conversation engaging. They come to the table with some targeted questions about our company. That shows us that they've done some homework and they are interested. And what in particular they're interested in is very important to us as well.
Yeah, I can't tell you how important it is to research companies. I think I've shared this before, but I went to interview with a company and I thought I was interviewing with a healthcare company, and I was actually interviewing with an ironworks company. So I was shown the door. So yes, you definitely need to do a little research. Yep. I also heard through the grapevine with your pre-call that you had with us that you don't believe that job seekers sell themselves. And I totally agree on that. Well, I put it this way. Majority of job seekers don't sell themselves, and then there's a small percentage that oversell themselves. So what do you provide as feedback or advice to job seekers? How do you sell yourself that you're not sounding like a used car salesman?
Yeah, that's a great question. I tell this story a lot. We interview a lot of engineers. And engineers, speaking as an engineer, we're naturally built to solve problems, to improve performance, or increase efficiencies, or reduce risks in systems wherever we can. However, we often find that engineers have a really hard time selling themselves and describing the great work that they do. One candidate a number of years ago, this employee we did hire, and he's been with us for well over 10 years now, spoke with him, and he had about 15 years of software engineering experience with, at the time, leading edge technologies. And despite the many years of great work, kept reminding me that, I'm not an expert. I want you to know I'm not an expert. And he just wanted to be precise and his definition of an expert was something well above, what I think the average person would say was an expert. Just wanted to be precise. So my advice for folks that have trouble selling themselves is, don't focus on selling. Focus on describing how you've partnered with your customer to understand or learn about the problems that they're having, technical challenges that they're having, and then describe how you help to solve their problem. And you will naturally sell yourself just by telling that story. So don't think about selling. Talk about problems and solutions that you've had an impact with.
I love that. It's just like you said, it's a conversation, and it's being able to, know what you can share about yourself and share it in a way that makes sense, and it really opens that conversation. So you've given us some wonderful nuggets to think about, some amazing career opportunities, some outstanding advice, couple free plugs for some great music to listen to. So now you've got the audience interested in learning more. So how in the heck can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's great. I'm on LinkedIn. You can hit me up on LinkedIn, John Martin Jr., JR at the end there on LinkedIn. And you can also engage with our recruiting team. Our recruiting manager is Mari Medrano. You can reach Mari also on Facebook and LinkedIn, but also recruiting at ProObject.com. Recruiting at ProObject.com.
Wonderful. So what is your most difficult recruiting challenge, and what tools or skills do you use to overcome it?
Yeah, it's a great question. We work through this every year. It seems like every month as we're working through our meeting our needs for our customers. But our greatest challenge for sure is simply meeting the volume of demand for skills from our clients. And I think you probably hear that common theme from a lot of companies that you work with. So we certainly work with ClearedJobs. We are a valued partner with you guys. We rely on your expertise and support to help us find talent, and primarily those in the software engineering realm. We've made some significant investments in our recruiting team, adding Mari on board as our recruiting manager. We make heavy use of the job boards and LinkedIn, job fairs throughout the year as well. And then word of mouth. Our employees, I think, are our greatest asset there as well. Employee referrals, we leverage that as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to learn a little bit more about ProObject, a little bit more about you. And we just wanted to sincerely thank you for just spending a little bit of your time today with us so that we could share the goodness that is ProObject with the world.
Thank you, John. This has been great. We really enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah. Rachel, Kathleen, thank you guys so much. It's been very fun, and all the best, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds great.